I personally pushed the CEO's wife into her white moonlight. I was reborn with my CEO wife, but I'm not happy at all. The first thing I did after my rebirth was to try my best to leave her. Even if I end up alone in this life, I don't even want to meet her again. In my previous life, I was covetous of her beauty. I married her in a daze. But after getting married, not only did I not enjoy her warmth for a day, instead, I have to endure her cynicism from Bai Yueguang. So come back again. I reached a cooperation with her Bai Yueguang. Every time I match them up, she's going to give me some money. My wife comes to watch a movie with me. I gave her movie ticket to Bai Yueguang. My wife said she wanted to go home for dinner. I locked the door on purpose. She was forced to go to Bai Yueguang's house. He used the excuse that his wife was going to be transferred to work in Peking. You can only bring one family member with you. I gave the opportunity to Bai Yueguang without hesitation. So when my wife came home, she found that the door was locked from behind. Can't enter the house. She forgot to bring her marriage certificate in order to accompany Bai Yueguang. I didn't make any noise either. Instead, I made friends who are international students. Friends teased that she and Bai Yueguang were the golden couple. I didn't refute, but sit down. Decided to apply for compulsory divorce. Fulfill them personally. I no longer care where she went. What are you going to do again? Just waiting for the divorce application to take effect. I will quit this ridiculous three-person relationship. The next day, I came to the marriage registration office alone. Hello, comrade. I want to apply for compulsory divorce. I took out the materials I had prepared long ago from my bag, hand it to the other party. The other party carefully checked the materials. Then he raised his head and spoke to me seriously. Comrade, we have received your application. If you don't come to cancel it within a month, forced divorce will officially take effect. I nodded. After the discharge, I took my bag and walked out of the registration office. Evening. The sun sets slowly. Leave behind a gorgeous sunset. The breeze blows gently. Dispelled a lot of heat. People coming off work from the field ride bicycles. Ringing the car bell. Jingle bells pass me by. No one would have thought that I was reborn once. In my last life, Mi Tong and I were in love. After we got married, he and I moved to the family home together. Although he was very busy after marriage, but every time after completing the task, always come home as soon as possible to have dinner with me. Various anniversaries. I always prepare gifts and surprises for my birthday. The money given every month is enough for expansion. It made everyone in the compound envious that I had found a good wife, but only I know. There is always a third person in our world. Fang Jingchuan, your best friend's brother. On my birthday, he left me and went shopping with Fang Jingchuan. When I was sick, he left me to take care of Fang Jingchuan, who was afraid of thunder. When I had a stomachache, he left me to care for the unhappy Fang Jingchuan. When the three of them went out to eat together, he ordered Fang Jingchuan's favorite spicy dish. I completely forgot that I have a stomachache and can't eat spicy food. When three people climb a mountain, Fang Jingchuan did not stand firm. He dragged me and threw me. Scraped arm. He immediately helped Fang Jingchuan down the mountain. And I can only go to the hospital alone in the middle of the night. There are many more things like this. It's not like I've never been jealous. It's not like there hasn't been any trouble. He is even willing to spend half of his family's money, so that Fang Jingchuan can live without worries for the rest of his life. I just ask Mi Tong not to associate with him anymore, and his reason every time is, I only regard him as a younger brother. His sister saved me. Die now. Leave him alone. The only one he can rely on is me. Can you please stop being unreasonable? That's what he said. But every time Fang Jingchuan looked at him, the love in the eyes is too obvious. In my last life, I had been arguing like this all my life. Been making trouble all my life. Been entangled for a lifetime. I don't want to get involved in the emotional entanglement of these three people again. So the first thing I did after reaffirming was to end the marriage. If Mi Tong finds out, I will get divorced. She will never sign the divorce agreement. That's why I came to the registration office to apply for a compulsory divorce. Because this method only requires one party to apply. I will be free after the divorce is completed. I want to leave here. Live the life you want. Don't stay with this woman for the rest of your life. I just walked to the gate of the compound. I stopped walking. Since marriage, Mi Tong asked me to quit my job. Now I have no income. Not only is it difficult to guarantee future life, I can't even afford a ticket to a distant place. Although Mi Tong gave me money, but the whereabouts and reasons for every money must be told to him. If I suddenly spend a lot of money, he must have suspicions. So where will this money come from? I thought for a long time. Finally made a bold decision. I want to cooperate with Fang Jingchuan, who has always admired Mi Tong. Push Mi Tong towards him with his own hands. So I knocked on Fang Jingchuan's door. Not much pleasantries. Get straight to the point. Fang Jingchuan, I want to make a deal with you. I know you like Mi Tong. Starting from today, I will try my best to create opportunities for you to be alone. And you just need to give me a sum of money after it's done. In a month I will completely withdraw from your world. Fang Jingchuan was stunned for a long time in disbelief before he came back to his senses. You kidding me? How could I like Sister Mi Tong? I smiled coldly. You know whether this is a joke or not. Look at me, I look determined. Fang Jingchuan finally started to look at me. He sneered. Yes, I like Mi Tong. But why should I believe what you say? I look calm. I will find a way to make you believe. You'll let him come to you tonight. You should prepare some of his favorite dishes first. After saying that, he didn't even look at Fang Jingchuan's expression. I turned around and left directly. Just opened the door. The mediocre people came forward, while taking my bag, while asking, Sir, what should I prepare tonight? I glanced at the clock hanging on the wall. Just make some light dishes tonight. As for the wait, just be one person. 9 o'clock at night. The clock rings on time. The next moment someone pushed the door open and came in. Emitting. Hearing the sound, he looked up. I saw the woman walking in with her legs and waist resting. Elegant and noble. Something full of coldness. Mi Tong walked towards me and took off his outer coat. Leave it to the mediocre person next to you. After seeing that the table was full of light dishes that did not suit my taste. Just as he was about to sit down, his body froze in place. Why is today's food so bland? If it were before, this taste will never appear on the dinner table at home. Even if there is negligence. I will also immediately cook some spicy dishes for him. But now I'm indifferent. He spoke with a cold expression. I have a bad appetite recently. Want to eat something light? After saying that, I picked up my chopsticks and started eating by myself. It's like I suddenly thought of something. I raised my eyes again and looked at the person in front of me. Fang Jingchuan has already prepared the dishes. Why don't you go over there and eat? He was stunned for a moment, frowned slightly. Haven't you always disliked my association with him? A trace of irony flashed through my mind. It turns out that he always knew that I didn't like his association with Fang Jingchuan. But he still leaves me to look for him every time. I raised my eyes and smiled. Didn't you always say that you only regard him as a younger brother? May I be more generous? Now I am learning to be generous little by little. Mi Tong lives forever. How can I do what you want? I'm generous enough to let you come over for dinner. I generously let you gamble with Fang Jingchuan. Finally, I graciously gave you to him. My tone is very relaxed and generous. Just as he expected these years. But inexplicably, Mi Tong feels a little uncomfortable. But with my persistent persuasion, he finally got up and left. Watching the woman put on her coat again and go out, I turned to the living room window, looking at Fang Jingchuan's home. After seeing the light over there turned on, I just got up and asked the servants to clear away the dishes. Lock the door by the way. Other side. See the rice boy coming like a fish. Fang Jingchuan's eyes lit up. He hurriedly greeted him, while asking for help. While taking the coat he took off. Seeing the table full of your favorite spicy dishes, Mi Tong always feels something is wrong. What did he want to ask, but was interrupted by Fang Jingchuan's words one after another. But it's still quiet inside the door. He tried to push the door again. Only then did I realize that the door was locked from the inside. He pushed hard a few times. Knocked for a while again. There was still no movement inside. In the end, he had no choice but to return to Fang Jingchuan's home again. Explained his predicament. Hearing that I actually locked the door, Fang Jingchuan's heart couldn't stop beating. He suppressed the raised corners of his mouth, with concern. It's okay, Sister Mi Tong. That being the case, you can stay with me tonight. Mi Tong calmed his eyebrows. Cold voice. Sorry to trouble you tonight. You'll sleep in the living room. Won't go anywhere else. Early the next morning, I just opened the door. I saw the woman sitting on the sofa downstairs. There are still a few dewdrops on her coat. I must have just come back not long ago. I walked on quietly. The woman who heard the noise looked up at me. Why did you close the door last night? I sat down at the dining table. drinking porridge from a bowl. There are more thieves recently. I'm used to locking the door. I forgot you went to put it in Chuan Na. Sorry. Listen to this. Mi Tong didn't think about it anymore. Take out a movie ticket from your pocket. Put it in front of me. I have a lot of things lately. I haven't been with you for a long time. You'll have someone pick you up after I finish my work in a while. Let's go see a movie together in the afternoon. I nodded, but he didn't pick up the movie ticket on the table. After breakfast, the woman changed her clothes again. Get up and leave. Hear the sound of cars driving away outside. I just put down the bowls and chopsticks. Looking at the movie tickets on the table. We were married for 5 years in our last life. He has never watched a complete movie with me. Every time he left the wedding midway because of Fang Jingquan's affairs. This time, I have no intention of watching movies with him anymore. But this vote cannot be wasted. Think of this. I took the ticket and came to Fang Jingquan's home again. Looking at the proud man in front of me, I spoke calmly. Now you should believe what I said last night, right? Fang Jingquan is still dubious. But he had tasted the sweetness yesterday. Although I don't know what my real purpose is, there is no way I would let this opportunity pass me by. So he nodded, gave me some money. I hooked my lips and said yes. Then he took out the movie ticket from his pocket and handed it to the other party. This is this afternoon's movie. You go with him. Dress up. Try to capture him today. Finished. I turned and left. I didn't go to the appointment in the afternoon. Instead, I took a nap at home. Watered the flowers again. Not at all leisurely. Until the night gets darker. I was just about to put away the newspaper on my knees and prepare to go upstairs to rest. Li Tong walked in. She frowned slightly. There is a hint of dissatisfaction in his eyes. Why didn't you come to the movie today? My hand that folded the newspaper paused. I'm a little uncomfortable today. Classical Chinese. Li Tong raised his hand to hold my forehead. Do you want to go to the hospital and have a look? I shook my head. No need. Just then, a harsh ringtone broke the peace. I was just about to get up. Li Tong picked up the microphone first. Because we stand very close, so the voice from the other side was clearly transmitted to my ears. When you hear the marriage lantern, 5 words. I subconsciously grabbed the newspaper. I couldn't help but hold my breath. I don't know how long it has been. The woman hung up the phone and looked at me. The marriage lantern office called. Said there were still some shortcomings in the information. Didn't say anything specifically. Good. What did you do at the marriage lantern office? I breathed a sigh of relief. There is no wave on the face. Didn't we get married too hastily? So there is still some information missing there. You'll just go and make up for it myself. Fortunately, you have been grateful for my whole life. Didn't think much about it. Turned around and went to wash up. After washing, what did she just remember? Take out a plot from your pocket. Right. Lao Zhong's birthday is the day after tomorrow. Then you come with me. I can't refuse this. He nodded. The day of the banquet. Countless handsome men and beauties danced to the sound of the accordion. Li Tong originally wanted to invite me to dance. I shook my head. I'm still feeling a little unwell. How about you dance with Fang Jingquan? It's a bit lonely for him to come alone. The piano sounds again. Look at me with a resisting look. Li Tong had to go to Fang Jingquan. Took his hand. Fang Jingquan had a smile on his face. Li Tong looked cold. 2 completely different people danced with their arms around their waists. People around started talking quietly. If I remember correctly, Mi Tong has a husband, right? Why did you dance with another man? This is outrageous. That Fang Jingquan clearly knew that Mi Tong was married, dancing with him and smiling like that. So shameless. Not far away. As a real husband, I watched calmly. Thoughts gradually drift away. Biting cold wind made me shiver. Seeing this, Mi Tong immediately picked up his coat and tried to chop it at me. As a result, Fang Jingquan on the other side sneezed several times in succession. His stretched-out coat stopped in midair. Seeing him hesitate, let me be sarcastic. Speak again. Fang Jingquan seems to need it more than me. You'd better give it to him first. I'm fine. A coat with the lingering warmth of a woman. Finally it was draped on Fang Jingquan. Fang Jingquan's ears turned red quietly. This is a trumpet sound coming from the other side. Lao Zhong rolled down the window. I looked at a few people standing on the roadside and asked why. I quickly asked a few people to get on the bus. What's embarrassing is, there are 2 seats left in the car. This time, Mi Tong did not hesitate to let Fang Jingquan and I get on the bus first. But when Fang Jingquan tugged at the corner of his clothes, Miss Mi Tong, you accompany me. I'm afraid. Just take a car. What's there to be afraid of? He really can't even find a reason. I feel guilty. It's not new to think about. Look directly at me, Tong. That being the case, just take him away first. You drank too much anyway. Can't get wet in the rain. Finished. Don't wait for me, Tong, to speak. I directly pushed the two people into the car. Looking at the car getting further and further away, I look away. He quickly stopped another car. We're not going in the direction of home, but the wedding light technology. One day, I just opened the door. As soon as he saw the figure, he walked over anxiously. I looked up. A glance ran into me Tong's anxious eyes. Why didn't you go home last night? Where have you gone? I responded lightly. It rained too much last night. I stayed at a friend's house for one night. In fact, I went to the marriage registration office to complete the formalities. Took a while. By the time it was over, it was too late and there was no car. I randomly found a small hotel and stayed there for one night. The woman looked me up and down. After confirming that I am okay, just breathed a sigh of relief, turned sideways and let me in. Parents are here. My hands that took off my coat were frozen in place. Look up to the living room. I saw the two people in the living room at a glance. Hear sounds. Mifu Mimu also came over. After a while of greetings, Mifu took my arm and walked to the sofa. While walking, he asked me how I was doing. Since I got married to Mi Tong, Mifu and Mimu come to our house from time to time. Not to care for us. Not to set rules. But to give birth. But isn't it possible for children to be born if they are told? I raised my eyes and looked at the woman next to me. There is no wave on her face. Just watching us quietly. There is a trace of expectation in the eyes. She also wants children. If it was the previous life, of course I want to have a few children with her. Children with similar facial features to ours. Capable of rebirth. But I no longer have this thought. Seeing that I didn't answer for a long time, Mim raised his head and looked at Mi Tong beside him. Are you alive or not? Mi Tong came back to his senses. Look at me who is speechless. Think him sorry. Then he hooked his lips. Nodded. Of course we want to have a baby. But there is no need to rush into giving birth. Let nature take its course. Seeing the two of them, there is no objection. Mifumim look at each other. I have a good idea. At the dinner table, Mim specially brought a pot of soup. He served us all a bowl with a smile. In Mim's eager eyes, I can only pick up the soup and finish it. After the meal, Mifu Mim didn't stay too long. Got in the car with nothing. After the two of them leave, Mi Tong and I just went back to the room to rest. But not long after I lay down, a feeling of heat spreads from the bottom of my heart to my whole body. I just feel that the room is getting hotter and stuffier. I couldn't help but pull my clothes. Between looking up, I saw the face of the woman beside me was furious. He also tugged at his collar impatiently. The moment the two looked at each other, inexplicably, I thought of the birth of Mifu Mim today. There's something wrong with that soup. I was just about to get up, but the people next to me rushed over first and pressed me down. Clouds so far away. Woman's voice is deep. It just so happens that you haven't paid public food for a long time. She held my face with one hand. Shortness of breath. Stooped down and stabilized. The rain outside is getting heavier and heavier. It's as if you can hear the rain pouring through the glass. The water stains on the glass windows have become denser. There is only one light on in the dark room. Two entangled figures are faintly illuminated. Just when a woman's hand reaches my belt, I pushed her away violently. Maybe I didn't expect that I would reject myself. Li Tong's eyes were full of mistakes. Reminds me of my vague alienation and indifference towards him. His voice was a little trembling. What's wrong? I pinched my palms hard. Sit up straight. Nothing. You go take a shower first. We both have misophobia. So you heard my request. He didn't think much about it, holding back the heat in the body. Get up and walk to the bathroom. And after Li Tong entered the bathroom, I quickly picked up the water glass next to me and took a sip of water. Then he turned around and picked up the window scorch and turned it over. Secretly came to Fang Jingquan's window and knocked on it. Go to his room quickly. He was drugged. This time is the best time. It's neither time nor coming again. After saying that, I stopped looking at Fang Jingquan's reaction. Turn around and leave. Other side. After Li Tong took a shower, I wiped my head and opened the bathroom door. The dim lights have long been extinguished. I could only vaguely see a figure lying on the bed. The woman walked over with a bit of confusion and emotion. Pressed the person under me again. He caught the opponent. One hand is clasped with the other person's index finger. Kiss each other delicately one after another. The movements of my hands are becoming more and more unrestrained. Just when he kissed the man's Adam's apple, a muffled groan came out of the man's mouth, like waking up from a big dream. He stood up suddenly. Turn over and turn on the light. The dazzling light instantly illuminates the entire room. Woman's heart aches. Pupil shrinkage. Why is it you? Fang Jingchuan didn't react for a while. I didn't expect to be discovered. His face changed drastically. I just stammered and couldn't speak. Sister Mitong. And the next second, a groan came from the woman's mouth. He watched helplessly as Mitong fell down. I put away the stick, frowning and looking at Fang Jingchuan. Not leaving yet. This time he completely came back to his senses. He grabbed his coat and ran away. After. Mitong's work has become very busy. I couldn't find any opportunity to bring him and Fang Jingchuan together for a while. Until Mitong suddenly received an arrangement to be transferred to Peking. But I can only bring one family member with me. After receiving the notice, he looked at the envelope in his hand. I hesitated for a moment. If it were before, he would take me to Peking without hesitation. But now there is another Fang Jingchuan. Thinking of Sister Fang Jingchuan before she died. Tell me to take good care of Fang Jingchuan. The nature in the hand was rubbed out into wrinkles. Finally he returned home. It's hard to speak to me. Yun see you in. I'm going to be transferred to Peking. To compensate, the organization will give accompanying family members a job at a television station. But I can only take one family member away. His voice is getting smaller and smaller. But I understand what he is going to say next. A pair of hands drilled tighter and tighter. As expected, the next second his voice continued to ring in my ears. Fang Jingchuan has just experienced the pain of the death of a relative, alone again with no one to take care of me. So I thought of taking him to Peking first. How about you give him that job too? Wait until I settle down in Peking. I will definitely come back to pick you up. This was also the case in my last life. I didn't agree at first. Obviously I am his husband. They are his family members. Why give up the opportunity to an outsider? Even if this outsider's sister saved him, he could have repaid the favor in other ways. Why do you have to sacrifice my future for this? I argued with him for a long time, but later he took Fang Jingchuan to Beiping. I was left alone here crying and waiting for several years. But this time, I didn't make any noise, no fuss either, just look at him quietly. Okay, I agreed. Maybe I promised too readily. You didn't react when you agreed. I can't hide the surprise in my eyes. She looked at me carefully, trying to find a trace of lies in my eyes. But then I discovered. I don't know when it started. It's like I've become a different person. She is no longer in my eyes and words. She sits there. I don't care either. An inexplicable discomfort spread from her heart. You agreed so readily. I raised my eyes and looked at the woman in front of me. Otherwise, don't you also want me to agree? If I don't agree noisily, will you change your mind? One sentence hit me tongue instantly. The answer is obviously no. Because after this order is issued, she has already made the decision to take Fang Jingchuan away. Nothing can stop, so he could only hold my hand with a guilty look on his face. Yun see you in. You suffered. I will definitely compensate you well in the future. I look calm, but I sneered slightly in my heart. Later. Where can we have a future? Because the order came suddenly. People in the compound held a farewell party specially for Mitong. Midway through the banquet, I sit quietly in the corner, looking at Mitong and Fang Jingchuan surrounded by the crowd. The white wine made Mitong's face become even redder. Fang Jingchuan's eyes became more and more blurred. As more and more people came forward to toast, Fang Jingchuan couldn't bear it and leaned towards Mitong. Maybe he noticed my gaze. Mitong quickly pushed Fang Jingchuan away. Then he asked the security personnel to help him to the sofa aside. Just when Mitong was about to walk towards me, a crack suddenly spread from the wall to the ceiling, accompanied by thick smoke and roar. It's like the earth is roaring. The building shook and made a sizzling sound. There are cracks in the wall. It seems like it will collapse at any time. In intense dizziness and panic, everyone turned pale. There was an earthquake. The scene was in panic for a moment. Screams and cries arose. The woman who was coming towards me. He also quickened his pace and ran towards me. But the next second, Fang Jingchuan's shout came from behind her. Sister Mitong, save me. The woman's footsteps suddenly stopped in place. It was at this moment when she hesitated. The entire building collapsed instantly. Countless people were buried underground. I don't know how long it has been. I opened my eyes again, but I found that my whole body, they were all weighed down by the cold protection. In a dark environment. Except for the faint cry. Only the sound of my own heartbeat. I want to open my mouth and cry for help, but I found myself because of excessive panic, and can't make a sound. I don't know how long it has been. Suddenly there was the sound of an electric drill above my head. Then came the shouts of the search and rescue team. Found it. People are here. The ruins hidden overhead were dug up. The dazzling light made me close my eyes involuntarily, but after seeing the scene under the ruins clearly, the search and rescue personnel became hesitant. Except for me, who was suppressed. On the other side, there was Fang Jingchuan, who was also being suppressed. Except him, Fang Jingchuan was also pressed down below. The situation is critical now. Yushin might come back sometime. Who should we save first? The girl looked at me, who was pressed down, and looked pale. Heart suddenly tightens. Of course, save first. When the clouds are far away, Fang Jingchuan, who had just woken up, collapsed instantly. Shout. Girl, please save me first. I'm so scared. Girl, don't leave me behind. Just then, Yushin came suddenly. Under violent vibration. The ruins buried us again. Decide quickly. Hesitate any longer. Can't save both of them. Girl, you promised my sister. Take good care of me. Hear this desperate cry. Mitong's eyes were solemn. Speak without hesitation. Save Fang Jingchuan first. Hear his choice. Everyone had shocked expressions on their faces. No one thought he would give up his husband to save an outsider. Even I suddenly opened my eyes wide. Look at him unknowingly. He gave up on me time and time again for Fang Jingchuan. But now it's a matter of life and death. He also wants to give up on me first. I spoke with a trembling voice. Mitong. But the words are not finished yet. He was drowned out by Fang Jingquan's louder cry. Miss Mitong. I feel so much pain. Smell of dust. Because of violent shaking, handful after handful of dust walk over to me. But just then the fishquake struck again. My body is shaking violently. Subconsciously want to escape, but it doesn't move at all. At this time, Mitong was already gritting his teeth, watching the rescuers gather the last plank of wood. Pulled Fang Jing out. Boom. The ruins suddenly collapsed. Originally half of her body was exposed. Buried in darkness again. Yun Si Yuan. The last moment of losing consciousness. The woman's frightened expression was frozen in my eyes. My whole body hurt so much that I can't move much. Open your eyes with effort. The first thing you see is the snow-white ceiling. Yun Si Yuan, are you awake? A cry of surprise came from the side. I looked sideways. I saw Mitong. Her eyes were bloodshot. One look at it and it seems that he has been guarding me for several nights. But now I see her again. What I think of is the earthquake. The scene where she abandoned me to save Fang Jingchuan. I turned my head again. Closed eyes. The ward fell into silence again. Mitong looked at me like this. Clenched fist. Finally let go. I know that no matter what I say now, I can't listen to it. He pursed his lips half stupidly. You take a good rest first. I'm going to see Fang Jingchuan. The ward door is closed again. A tear wet the pillow. But I quickly reached out and wiped it away. The next few days, Miss pupils were tossing and turning, maybe because of guilt. He still stays here most of the time. I'm already heartbroken. Don't care about his whereabouts. On the contrary, Fang Jingchuan in another ward couldn't sit still. On this day, while Mitong is not here, he came to me angrily. Yun Si Yuan, what do you mean? It's not that I agreed to leave him. Give us a chance to be alone together. Now you are eager to hold on to him and not let go. Are you trying to trick me on purpose? I looked at the dissatisfied look of the man in front of me. Been silent for a long time. Take out the divorce certificate you just got from the bag next to you. I don't like him a long time ago. I didn't mean to trick you. I have applied for divorce. Fang Jingquan's eyes widened in shock. He always thought I was just talking, but I didn't expect this person to be so decisive. I even got the divorce certificate. Before I could speak, the ward door was pushed open again. Li Tong saw the divorce certificate in my hand at a glance. What are you holding in your hand? Mitong rushed over to take a closer look. Fang Jingchuan stood up immediately. Stand in front of him. Miss Mitong, where did you just go? It just so happens that I have something to ask you about, Fang Jingchuan said as he pulled his sleeve and walked out. Looking at the ward door that closed again, I was relieved. The day of discharge, I received the last money from Fang Jingchuan. See you in. Although I don't know why you suddenly got divorced, but I hope you do what you say. Exit our world forever. I will use the money I got from Fang Jingchuan these days. After saving everything, just start packing your luggage when you go home. When Mitong comes back, I was shocked by the clothes spread out all over the room. What did you do with all these clothes? I didn't even look at him. I just buried my head in packing the clothes on the floor. Going to leave, just take them all out and sort them out. Look at my actions of immersing myself in cleaning up. His hand on the door handle got tighter and tighter. A panic spreads in my heart, thinking of all the abnormalities in me these days. He stepped forward and pulled me up. Stop cleaning it up. Going to Beijing later. I'll accompany you to buy new ones. I frowned. I didn't understand what he said for a while. The woman holds my hand tightly. There was a hint of panic in the words. Clouds so far away. This time I applied with the organization. The organization agreed that I would take 2 people with me, so I can take Fang Jingchuan to Beijing with you. But the TV station still has only one job. Just give it to Fang Jingchuan. I know you are angry with me for not saving you first during the earthquake, but I can't help it. I promised his sister to take good care of him. I can't keep my word. Can you stop losing your temper? Classical Chinese. I looked at him calmly, without saying a word, heart full of irony. He thought I was losing my temper. But what do I have to do to lose my temper? This was also the earthquake in my last life. It's just that I wasn't suppressed together with Fang Jingchuan at that time. But he still chose to save Fang Jingchuan first. Until I stayed with Fang Jingchuan in the hospital for half a month. I just remembered to call and ask about my situation. And before that, Fang Jingchuan's group of friends came specifically to provoke me. After saying that Fang Jingchuan's hand was injured, how much do you care about him? And took care of him all night. Never leave. Countless grievances welled up in my heart. Because I'm also covered in bruises. But my wife was with another man who was only slightly injured. Coax impatiently. From admission to surgery to getting out of bed. From beginning to end, I am alone. When I cried countless times because of the pain, my wife stayed with another man all night. The grievance gradually expanded into anger and unwillingness. On the phone, I had a big fight with him. Vent all these unwillingness and resentments. But the woman on the other end said nothing. Until I vent all my grievances. He said helplessly. I said, Fang Jingchuan and I have nothing to do. I can help you if you think so. The cold clothes extend from the back to the whole body. I can't hear the rest of the words clearly either. Just shortly after I was discharged from the hospital, he took Fang Jingchuan to Beiping. Mitong, you and I have long been out of sync with each other. The day we set off together. After seeing me coming from behind again, the smile on Fang Jingchuan's face suddenly subsided, but I didn't even look at him. I picked up my luggage and got in the car. See you in. Let's live a good life when we get to Peking, okay? I'll buy you whatever you want. I just looked at him quietly, without saying a word. We are all divorced. How can we live a good life in the future? Even if you want to live a good life. Only he and Fang Jingchuan, instead of with me. I closed my eyes tiredly. See, I'm tired. Mitong did not continue to explain. Instead, he gently covered me with a blanket. He knows it will take a long time to make amends in the future. Thinking like this, she also closed her eyes tiredly. Miss Mitong, since you promised my sister, you should take care of me till the end. Why do you abandon me like this? Mitong pushed her away. Look at her coldly. Fang Jingchuan, don't be too greedy as a person. Miss Mitong, do you dare to say that you have taken care of me for so many years? Never had any feelings for me. Are you really willing to let me go? She clearly remembers the day her sister died. How did Mitong hold himself and comfort him personally? At the dance. Why did Mitong hold his hand tightly? Car accident. How did Mitong protect himself? There are earthquakes. Scenes on the train. His eyes can deceive others. But I can't deceive myself. How could Mitong not like herself? Mitong tightly grasps the divorce syndrome in his hands. The edges hurt his hands. But it made him more awake. That's not liking. Just responsibility. If you get a little hurt, how will I explain to your sister in the future? Fang Jingchuan kept shaking his head. You don't like. And why are you so nice to me? Obviously you can let others take care of me every time. But why do you have to do it yourself? It seems like I thought of something again. His eyes were fixed on Mitong. It's too late for you to get rid of me. We already have a couple thing. Like a bolt from the blue. Mi Tong looked at him in shock at first. Finally, a flash of anger ignited in his eyes. What nonsense are you talking about? He said word for word. Also approaching him step by step, the hands behind Fang Jingchuan kept shaking, but he still faced his anger directly. That bowl of soup you drank. It was me who got into your bed. The woman's steps forward fell to the ground. He also remembered that bowl. I also remembered my perfunctory excuses. How could someone send another man to his wife's bed? The rage of betrayal from head to toe. But before he could speak, the security personnel standing at the street came running over. Miss Yu. This way please. Li Tong suppressed his anger. I didn't even look at Fang Jingchuan either. Instruct security personnel. Take him back first. As for the TV job, let's withdraw first. After taking people far away, Fang Jingchuan breathed a sigh of relief. Sitting on the ground, he lowered his eyes and looked at the stones on the ground, knowing that I was left behind for the time being. But what about behind? The more I think about it, the more unwilling and resentful I feel. It's all because the clouds are so far away. If he hadn't left so suddenly, I wouldn't make such a move myself. In an office, the leader looked at the woman in front of him with concern, thinking of him being married. Then he mentioned one more thing. Where's Xiao Yun? He just came to Beiping. May not adapt to. You have to take good care of him. You opened your mouth at the same time, but don't know what to say. After all, he is someone who has been here. Look at his appearance. The leader smiled knowingly. How? But the little fish got angry. Not a tantrum. It's divorced. The smile on the other person's face suddenly subsided. After hearing the reasons for his divorce, the tone is full of hatred that iron cannot become steel. What's going on with you? He is obviously a person who can clearly distinguish between important matters. Why are you so emotionally confused? Sister Fang Jingchuan saved your face. You should also take good care of his brother. But so many things can be done by others. Why can't you figure it out? The leader doesn't want to say any more. He waved his hand to let her go down first. On the way home, the staff is preparing for today's events. Miss Ni. We also went to check on Yumo's side, but we could only find out that she was heading towards Su province. They don't know exactly which direction it is. Information is not developed nowadays. Want to find her in the vast crowd. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack. Secondly, we also took Fang Jingchuan to the hospital for a checkup. Fang Jingchuan also admitted it personally. She didn't touch you at all that day. But she is a disadvantaged family member. It's not easy for us to drive her away. You can only let her stay at your house temporarily. Li Tong listen. His face is getting darker and darker. Finally, I closed my eyes in despair. Just returned to my new home. A shout came from the door. It's just that today's residence is not like the former compound. Neighbors are so close together. Now Fang Jingchuan shouts louder. No neighbors came out to join in the fun. He hurriedly did not enter the living room. I saw Fang Jingchuan clinging to the sofa. I won't take one more step forward until I die. Saw him coming in. Fang Jingchuan stood up suddenly. Want to hold him, but he dodged it sideways. After getting off the train, I casually stepped onto another train, but I didn't expect to be sent to Jiangnan by this train. I couldn't help but lean towards the wooden door. But when I stepped back, I accidentally bumped into someone. Sorry. I turned back subconsciously, but suddenly I fell into the deep eyes of that person. She lowered her eyes slightly. You can see her delicate profile. High nose bridge. Tight thin lips. It's a nice smoky red color. The most beautiful thing is her hands. Slender with cloud lining. The joints glowed with a cold white light. Woman wearing silk dress. A slight smile on his face. It's okay. Why don't you come in first and take shelter from the rain? The fragrance of tea overflows by the window. After changing my clothes, I sat in front of Liu Zhiying. Carefully took the hot tea from her. Thank you. Liu Zhiying smiled. It seems like I thought of something again. Are you the only one left to come to Jiangnan? I no longer want to mention the past. After all, those memories are really not good ones for me. The person in front of me didn't ask any more questions about the timing, just asking me what my future plans are. Although Fang Jingchuan gave me more than 5,000 yuan, but the money will eventually be spent. I have to find a job that can support me. But Mi Tong and I have been married for 5 years. My original craftsmanship has also become rusty. What can I do now? The confusion in her eyes was seen by the woman. She knocked on the table, as if thinking of something. My friend just wants to transfer a tailor shop. If you don't mind, We can go and have a look when the rain stops. The confusion in my eyes suddenly turned into surprise. After the rain stops, Liu Zhiying closed the shop. He took me up the bluestone board. While walking, he introduced me to the small town's human affairs. The town is small, but people are nice. Although there are many shops on the street, there are few tailor shops available. My friend also doesn't want to part with this store, but my family is all in Beiping. She can't let go either. I can only reluctantly transfer it. Mention Peking. I somehow thought of Mi Tong and Fang Jingchuan. Calculate the time. They should have arrived in Beiping too. Now there's no more me standing in the way. Presumably their relationship will also progress very smoothly. Just a few minutes after leaving, a two-story building appeared in front of us. After some introduction from Liu Zhiying's friend, I also have a certain understanding of this building. The two also had a pleasant conversation, plus Liu Zhiying's assist from the side. The shop quickly settled down. The next week I became very busy. Get the house transferred first. Secondly, according to the address in the book, everyone runs to Facebook to hang out. Because my skills are still new, so I found a master to learn the skills first. I study seriously. The master is also willing to teach. Less than a month, I've learned something. Not only did I make myself a new shirt with my own hands, also specifically to thank Liu Zhiying, made her a new dress. Look at the clothes I handed over. There was a flash of difference in the woman's eyes. I soon got a smile again, given to me. I was a little embarrassed and nodded. Finished everything in the shop. After buying the corresponding fabrics and various tools, my funds are not sufficient either. To express sincere gratitude, I just decided to make him a new dress. The tailor shop has just opened. Neighbors all around have a wait-and-see attitude. After all, he is a new master. If the craftsmanship is not good, if they wear it, they will be laughed at. Can watch for a few days. The small tailor shop is crowded with people. Because I am not only good at my craftsmanship, and the clothes we make are fashionable. The most important thing is that I have a sweet mouth. Everyone likes it. Wait until the door opens again. There are many more customers in the store. Seeing that I am too busy alone, Liu Zhiying also recommended 2 quick hands and feet to me. Smart little girl. Liu Zhiying brought another news. Now that the problem is solved, it's time to go back. Classical Chinese. I feel a trace of reluctance in my heart. When I first arrived in the town, he was the first person I saw. In the next few months, he also gave me a lot of help. But we just became friends and we were about to be separated. See me with a sad face. Liu Zhiying also had an impulse in his heart to suggest that I go to Peking with him. But then I remembered that every time we chatted, I always avoided Peking. Like something bad happened there. In the end, he suppressed this unrealistic thought. It doesn't matter. I'll leave you my home address. We can contact you by writing. Listen to this, no matter how much reluctance you feel, I can only suppress it. The day Liu Zhiying left. Just like the day I first came here. It started to rain lightly. She handed me the key to the tea shop. He said he could go there and do it when he had nothing to do. Make the tea shop a little angry. Maybe one day she will come back again. But both of them knew it well. She is the chief's granddaughter. Special status. How could it be possible to come back so easily? Watching the car go further and further away, until it disappears from my sight. I just looked away. I didn't go back to the tailor shop, but holding an umbrella. Step by step along the bluestone slabs we walked back to Liu Zhiying's tea shop. The moment I opened the door, I couldn't help but be in a trance. Once upon a time when I was here. Come in with a smile every time. Leave with a smile. My eyes gradually shifted to the window. That's where we chat. I walked over. Sit in your seat. But there's no one pouring me hot tea across the street anymore. I often sigh. Obviously Liu Zhiying just left. I started to miss him a little bit. I turned my attention to the door again, looking forward to the next moment. His figure can appear from outside the door. Can wait until dark. The familiar person didn't show up either. Peking Mijia. Since divorcing me, Mi Tong is like a different person, feeling increasingly indifferent. After he drove Fang Jingchuan away last time, Fang Jingchuan actually wanted to drug him. This time no one will help him cover up. Soon, Fang Jingchuan was taken away by the police who arrived, sent to jail. Originally, according to his status as a martyr's family member, he should have been dealt with lightly. Once investigated, discovered many bad things he had done in the past, plus the meaning of Mitong himself. Not only was he not treated lightly, instead, you will face heavier punishment. After returning home, under the dim light, there was no longer a figure waiting for him to come home. There is no hot food on the table. Even if this situation repeats itself every day, but Hes still not used to it. Finally the nanny heard the noise. Come out of the room, gave him a bowl of noodles. Early next morning, his subordinate brought him an invitation letter. You will know after reading the content. It turns out that the granddaughter of the Liu family has recovered her health and returned. For this, the Liu family held a jiffin banquet for him. Love and courtesy. He will participate. Think of this. He subconsciously asked me to prepare gifts. But suddenly I remembered that we had been divorced a long time ago, and I haven't found it yet. In the end, he could only ask the nanny to prepare gifts. Then I drove to Liu's house. Liu's house is brightly lit. It was also the first time for Mitong to meet the Liu family's granddaughter. If Mitong is Leng Yangguiqi, then Liu Zhiying is the banner of gentleness. Her appearance made the group of young talents next to her fall in love with her. After simple greetings and handing out gifts, Mitong walked aside and sat down, quietly looking at the scenery outside the window. This made Liu Zhiying look at her several times. Others are curious when they see Liu Zhiying. Then he stepped forward and introduced Mitong to her. Therefore, she also knew the general story of Mitong. I also know that she has an ex-husband who loves her very much, but I haven't found it yet. Listening to other people's descriptions of Mitong's ex-husband, Liu Zhiying couldn't help but think of me, so he couldn't help but speak. What's his ex-husband's name? It seems to be called Yun Si-Yuin. Liu Zhiying was not interested in listening to the rest of the story. My name is all over my mind, so is this the reason why I don't want to come to Peking? After dinner, Mr. Liu called Liu Zhiying into the study. First, I paid routine attention to my granddaughter's daily life. Then he asked some questions about his death in the small town. Liu Zhiying patiently explained everything to the old man. Finally, suddenly came a sentence. Grandpa, I fell in love with someone. The tea that the old man just drank squirted out all of a sudden. His granddaughter actually fell in love with a man. Liu Zhiying continued to speak. It's just that his identity is a bit special. The old man put down his teacup. Look at him seriously. Obviously prepared. He is Mitong's ex-husband. Liu Zhiying, who expected to receive a scolding, but I saw the old man waving his hands indifferently. What's this? Grandpa, you not angry? What should I be angry about? Just ex-husband. As long as you like it. I don't care. But I have to remind you. He divorced Mitong. It must be Mitong's problem. Don't be stupid. Learn from Mitong and hurt him. Liu Zhiying's eyes were filled with surprise. Grandpa means he agrees. The old man poured himself another cup of tea. What's the point of agreeing? You have to be willing to do that, as a young man. Mr. Yun, you had a car accident earlier. After waking up, I kept shouting to see you. He also said that you couldn't go there. He refused to continue treatment. I finally got in the car, rushed to the hospital. On the way to the hospital, I got the general idea from the nanny. After talking it over in the garden, Mitong still doesn't give up. He came to Liu's house all day long to read to me. Once or twice is fine, but too many times. There will inevitably be gossip. Just when the Liu family wanted to drive him away, he fainted and fell to the ground first. The Liu family sent him to the hospital. Who would have thought that he would be crazy when he woke up? Look for me everywhere. Still talking nonsense. The more I listen, the heavier my heart sinks. A bad premonition emerged in my heart. Liu Zhiying next to me looked at me with jealous eyebrows. Can't help but hug me. If you feel uncomfortable, we won't go see him. I shook my head gently. It's okay. Always speak clearly. Just arrived at the door of the ward. The security guard guarding the door stopped me. Liu Zhiying behind him looked embarrassed. The leader said, as long as you go in alone. I made a fist. Nod towards Liu Zhiying. I went in early with my feet up. The moment the ward door closes, the woman in the hospital bed looks back. Rushed off the hospital bed. Husband. Just this sentence. I'm sure that Mitong is also reborn. He rushed over and hugged me tightly. Keep shouting. Sorry. Yun Si-Yuin. Sorry. Until I saw my diary. Only then did he realize how much he regretted what he had done. He saw Fang Jingquan's true face clearly, regardless of years of friendship and Fang Jingquan's pleas. After solving Fang Jingquan, he also gave himself a shot. Maybe it's God's mercy. He was reborn again. This time, he will never let go again. He hugged me and said a lot of regretful things. But the more I listen, the colder my heart becomes. Why do you have to wait until I die? Only then did he know he regretted it. If he hadn't been as outrageous as Fang Jingchuan from the beginning. How did we get to this point? Those years in Wulo. These were my most desperate years. I listened to mediocre people talk about how good they are to Fang Jingchuan. Watch how he pampers Fang Jingchuan. Hatred spreads. But the door was guarded by armed security personnel. I can't get out at all. Strong hatred welled up in my heart. I subconsciously tightened the hand on my side. Fingertips turned white with force. I pushed it away. Eyes full of coldness. So you are also reborn. Do you want to make it up to me? Mitong immediately became a general. Look at me in surprise. Husband, you are also reborn. The blood of my heart hasn't jumped up to my face yet. I raised my hand and slapped him. Mitong, why do you want to be reborn? Why are you still refusing to let it go? The hands that stayed in the air kept shaking. Tears rushed out of the corners of my eyes. I thought God gave me a chance to be reborn. You're showing mercy to me, so I can do nothing after being reborn. I just want to escape from this complicated relationship. Let the grudges of the previous life stay in the previous life. But why did he happen to be reborn? What's more, we divorced a long time ago. I'm someone else's fiancée now. He looked at the ring on my hand. Like a bolt from the blue. Suddenly his face turned pale. But look at the tears on my face. He wanted to come forward and hug me again. But I took a step back. Mitong, no matter you are reborn or not, from the moment you hugged Fang Jingchuan in the morning hall, our marriage is destined to never turn around. Finished. I don't look at him anymore. Turn around and leave. But the girl quickly stepped forward and grabbed me. There is a prayer hidden in the voice. No, don't want. Yun see you and I am reborn. It means God wants to give me another chance to get you back. Please can you give me another chance? This is the first time he lowers his head and begs for help. Begging me for the first time in my past life. I looked at my bloody corpse in my last life. Endless regret haunts him. The freshness of the past. Someone who calls his name tenderly. Now I'm lying in the coffin like this. The nanny who has taken care of me for many years. The words are full of hatred. Telling that after I was imprisoned in an overturned building. How did Fang Jingchuan provoke me? How did the servants bully me? Every time I think of this, his heart will be in pain. Until you see me again after rebirth. Look at me still alive. The girl is eager to atone for her sins. Want my forgiveness? I sneered. Approaching him step by step. Beg me. I beg you not to hug Fang Jingchuan. Did you agree? I beg you not to take Fang Jingchuan home. Did you agree? I beg you not to do the opening dance with Fang Jingchuan. Did you agree? I beg you to take care of me after the earthquake. I am writing to ask you to take me to Peking. I beg you not to put me in a women's house. Did you agree again? Way out. Look at his face getting paler and paler. I drilled my hand. Speak again. The voice still has no temperature. Mitong. From now on, let's not meet again. Your repeated appearances only make me feel sick. Make me hate you even more. Finished. I turned around and walked out of the ward. Use all your strength. The door slammed shut. Unable to rush it and drown it in an instant. Mitong said loudly and fell to the ground after a few steps. The heart shows waves of horniness. The quarrel in the ward became more and more intense, but separated by a thick door. People outside can't hear clearly. What exactly is going on in my mind? Liu Zhiying, who was standing at the door, was about to rush in. The door was suddenly opened and closed by me. Look at the tears on my face. There was a flash of distress in his eyes. Hug me quickly. Yun Zhiying. Where am I? Zhiying. Shall we go home? Liu Zhiying didn't know what exactly we were arguing about. After returning from the hospital, I fell ill. Look at me keeping silent. He didn't ask either. Just push down all the public property. Take care of me at home. After feeding me the last mouthful of porridge, Liu Zhiying gave the bowl to the nanny on the side. Yun Zhiying. Mitong heard that you are sick. Sent something. Lost? After saying that, I closed my eyes. I wonder if it's because of Mitong's rebirth, or some other reason. I said so many decisive words to him, but he still doesn't give up on me. It's just that no one came in front of the Liu family this time. Instead, he sent people to deliver various things to me every day. It's a pity that these things didn't have time to come into my eyes. He was thrown into the trash can by the nanny. Raised for more than half a month, my health is gradually getting better. Able to get out of bed and move around. Just then, Liu Zhiying received another banquet from a friend. Invite him to watch the fireworks by the river. When we get off the bus, I saw Mi Tong coming from the other side at a glance. The moment I saw you, Mi Tong's grey eyes suddenly lit up, but I didn't even look at her. Holding Liu Zhiying's hand and walking towards the other side of the river. Fireworks bloom in mid-air. Everyone was amazed. But just when we were concentrating on watching the fireworks, an accident happened. I don't know who suddenly shouted, "Catch the thief!" The crowd suddenly became confused. Liu Zhiying quickly pulled me away with his eyes and hands. Avoid the rushing crowds. Walk outside. Just then, a burst of force came from behind. Be careful. Then there was the sound of a sharp knife piercing flesh. I turned around suddenly. You can also see the scene in front of you clearly. A warm hand attached to my eyes. Don't look. My eyes are dark. I can only hear the screams all around. Kill people. To save me. You rushed behind me at the same time. Used his body to block the knife thrust by the thief. Maybe it's because the knife is too dull. Maybe it's because the thief is in a hurry. He wasn't too seriously injured. I thought after saving me, I will come to the hospital to see him because of my emotions. Then he will pretend to be pitiful and say a few words. I will definitely be soft-hearted. But until he is discharged from hospital, I haven't even appeared once. Only in the beginning. Asked the nanny to give him some supplements. When the nanny puts down her things and is about to leave, he finally couldn't help but call the other party. Ask about me. The nanny vomited. Mr. Yun said, "You never even came to see him when he was in the hospital. What's more, now he feels disgusted when he sees you once." And the husband was also frightened, feeling unwell. "How can I come to see you?" Mi Tong's outstretched hand suddenly struck down. He cried bitterly. He's blaming himself. I blame myself for being by Fang Jingchuan's side during the earthquake in my previous life. Until Fang Jingchuan is about to be discharged from the hospital, I just remembered to give me a call. Maybe he deserves this. And I happened to fall ill from fright. Liu Zhiying couldn't bear it anymore. Let me tell you that Beiping is not suitable for me. You want to take me back to Jiangnan immediately. Just half of packing my luggage. The plan was terminated. Looking at Liu Zhiying's rare gloomy face, a trace of worry flashed through my heart. Be considerate to him. What happened? Why are you looking so sad? He grabbed my hand. Fang Jingchuan escaped from prison. A simple sentence. I was stunned for a long time. I haven't heard the name Fang Jingchuan for a long time. It turns out that Fang Jingchuan took advantage of the chaos and escaped while he was released from prison. The whole of Beiping has been on heightened alert. Because no one knows what crazy things Fang Jingchuan will do after being imprisoned for several years. Moreover, Mi Tong and I were the closest people to Fang Jingchuan, so the two of us are also listed as key protection targets. The police sent people to search for Fang Jingquan's traces throughout the entire process. Send people to protect us. For safety, Liu Zhiying also stayed by my side every step of the way. Afraid of something happening to me. Just locked up at home for a few days. We got the news. Fang Jingchuan was captured. Because the place where we live is heavily guarded, Fang Jingchuan was discovered by security personnel as soon as he showed his head. Struggle. Fang Jingchuan took away the gun from the security guard's waist. He randomly hit Mi Tong, who was getting out of the car. Mi Tong quickly hid with his hands. But I didn't dodge the next bullet. Finally, there was heavy bleeding in the chest. Sent to hospital for rescue. Fang Jingchuan was also sentenced to death for intentional homicide. Will be executed the day after tomorrow. Before sentencing, Fang Jingchuan decided to meet me. Across the iron railing, I looked at Fang Jingchuan opposite, full of emotion. I have seen Fang Jingchuan in many forms. Before I died in my last life, Fang Jingchuan always looked proud. With the watch Mi Tong bought me. This life is also because of Mi Tong's caring care. Fang Jingchuan is doing well too. But now he, wearing shabby uniforms, sunken cheeks, eyes red, yellow hair. The whole person looks like a beggar. In his previous life, Fang Jingchuan looked decent until his death. Now I'm no longer the catalyst for feelings. The two of them went from having an ambiguous relationship to becoming enemies. Think of this. I couldn't help but smile. But this smile became a provocation in Fang Jingquan's eyes. He wanted to rush forward like crazy. Want to tear my face apart. But he was chained to the chair. Can't break free. I can only do it incompetently. Yun. I want to kill you. Why do you want to be born again? Why do you want to live? The smile on my lips suddenly faded away. I clearly realized in my heart that Fang Jingchuan was also reborn. Just right. It's time to settle the accounts with Fang Jingchuan from the previous life. He'll tell you why. You were the first to be unethical, seducing you again and again. You are disgusting with that woman too. Obviously I am his husband, but he left me to look for you again and again. Fang Jingchuan uses what I once had. Are you okay with it? But it doesn't matter. That's already trash I don't want. Just left for you. Now it's uncertain whether you two live or die. One is about to face the death penalty. This can be considered your retribution. I stood up, holding onto the iron railing in front of me. The hardships I suffered in my previous life. I want it all to remain with you. What a pity, Fang Jingchuan. I won't let you die like this easily. Death is too easy for you. How can I make up for the suffering I suffered in my last life? What about the torture you suffered, when I thought Fang Jingchuan was not reborn? This is the only time I can settle accounts with him. What's more, I haven't waited for myself to take action. Fang Jingchuan sent himself to prison. Unexpectedly, Fang Jingchuan was also reborn. I couldn't help but shuddered. The viciousness on his face turned to fear. What are you going to do? I don't look at him anymore. Turn around and leave. Let him roar crazily from behind. To no avail. Maybe it's because this time Fang Jingchuan, he also regarded me as a target for killing. So when I asked Liu Zhiying for help, he agreed without hesitation. Just a few simple instructions. Fang Jingchuan, who was originally sentenced to death, had his sentence changed. Back in jail. And this time, he can't escape anymore. There are not only armed men in prison. 24 hours a day. And the prison he was thrown into. They are all murderers with multiple lives in their hands. He will be miserable for the rest of his life. Maybe Fang Jingchuan's rebirth gave me a reminder. The 3rd month after being hospitalized in Mitong, I stepped into his ward again. After 3 days and 3 nights of surgery, Mitong's life was finally saved, but because the injury was too serious, he will be confined to bed for the rest of his life. He was also moved from the top position to behind the scenes. I looked at the decadent person on the hospital bed. No worries in my heart. Just sit next to him. Take out a big red picture from the bag. Him getting married. The bright red thorn made his eyes hurt. Your eyes were stunned for a long time. Finally, I accepted the invitation with trembling hands. Congratulations. When I returned to Jiangnan town again, neighbors gathered around Chapo. Word after word of earnest concern. It makes people feel warm. We sprinkled the wedding candies brought from Beiping. While chatting with everyone. Yun, you are finally back. Now I can wear the clothes you made again. Congratulations, congratulations. I wish you 100 years of good drinking. Lanterns under the eaves are lit. Liu Zhiying and I are side by side, sitting on the sofa by the window. While looking at the night view outside the window. While chatting. The days passed by so peacefully. The 3rd day back in the town. Unable to stay idle, I reopened the tailor shop to welcome customers. In order to attract more customers, I also brought several new design books from Beiping. I made several samples according to the above pattern. As soon as it was displayed, the neighbors were excited. The 2 little girls who were in the store were also very busy. Even Liu Zhiying closed a tea shop and came to help send away the last guest. After sending the 2 little girls away, I was relieved. Sitting at the door with slumped shoulders, close face tired, Liu Zhiying came over and massaged my shoulders. My stomach suddenly growled. I blushed silently. I want to cover my stomach. Been busy all day. I forgot to eat. Seeing this, Liu Zhiying chuckled lightly. Turn around and walk into the kitchen at the back. I ordered a bowl of fragrant noodles. The steaming noodles fill the empty taste. I devoured it. He was watching me eating noodles. Pick up some food for me at the same time. Don't worry about eating either. Eat slowly. I quickly protected my noodle bowl with my hands. Lifting his chin towards her noodle bowl. Signal her to eat too. Only then did Liu Zhiying laugh. Picked up the noodles in his bowl with chopsticks. I thought that life would go on so smoothly. But the peace was suddenly broken by a letter. Looking at Liu Zhiying's hesitant expression, I also became nervous. What did the letter say? She opened her mouth. In the end, I chose to hand the letter to me. When I saw the contents of the letter, my face also turned pale. This is a letter from Mitong. It's a letter of apology, but everything in the words hints that she is sorry for me. not good all the time. Plus being tired all year round. So, there's not much time left. So, I crumpled the letter paper into a ball. He didn't let you go back. Just saying goodbye to you. Right. And this? Liu Zhiying took out a ring from the envelope. I know it as soon as I see it. This is something Mitong found someone else to order. Maybe I also remembered. There was no ring that didn't fit when we got married. Mitong is going to die. Although my heart is complicated. But not too much discomfort. We have come this far. It's all his own fault. Now we don't meet. It's a good thing for both of them. What's more, I no longer want to care about anything about him. So I held the letter in front of the candle, watching the fiery snake devour the letter. Then he threw the ashes into the iron box aside, then got up and went upstairs. When walking to the stairs, I seemed to have remembered something again, looking back at Liu Zhiying who was still sitting on the sofa. There's no ring there. Throw it away. I don't need. In a ward of Peking Hospital, Li Tong was lying on the hospital bed dying, listening to the security personnel reporting the situation. The letter sent to Mr. Yun Ming has been signed for, but I haven't received a reply from him yet. He smiled and shook his head. It's okay. You guys go down first. The security guard responded softly, finally closed the door. The girl turned her head and looked out the window. Suddenly I thought of the day she and I were released from prison. It's also such an autumn. I'm wearing a white shirt, looking at her with red ears. Are you a girl? How did she answer then? Can't remember clearly. I just remember that ever since she started taking care of Fang Jin the window. I'm so heartbroken. Look at her appearance. You obviously said you would take good care of me when you got married. Love me forever. But in the end I broke my promise. The memories of two lives are intertwined. Make her more and more confused. She knows her time is running out. With great effort, he took out a wedding gift from his pocket. That was when we got married. The wedding dress she put on me with her own hands. Maybe it's because it doesn't fit, so I only wore it once. Put it in the box. Just like our marriage. She betrayed me once. I never looked back. Finally she murmured. Yun see you in. Sorry. Don't meet me again in your next life. The next moment, her hand dropped suddenly. The ring in his hand also fell off and fell to the ground.